The Breakup is an American comedy film rich in dialogue with verbal messages. In Scene 4, the initial breakup occurs, displaying the general concepts of verbal messages. It is crucial to understand verbal messages are limited to words, not the action of speaking. The limitation of verbal messages separates actions such as laughter, vocalizations involving emotional responses, facial expressions, and eye movements. More importantly, verbal messages are consistent with both oral and written words. There are many key principles for communicating verbal messages more effectively. In this comical scene of a classic breakup, I will analyze how Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston communicate poorly. The verbal message strategies will outline the misinterpretations occurring simultaneously throughout the scene. In the beginning of the scene, Jennifer Aniston's character, Brooke, initiates a verbal message to her counterpart, Vince Vaughn's character, Gary. Brooke says, "Well, I'm going to go do the dishes." He responds, "Cool." The principle in understanding Brooke's verbal message is represented by a critical moment of silence when Gary refuses to engage in several message strategies. Gary fails to recognize Brooke is speaking in a gender context while expressing an indirect message just to be polite. She also followed the correct cultural context in order to avoid unnecessary violations. More specifically, the gender context is the most meaningful factor of her verbal message at this instant. Women tend to be indirect, especially when expressing a desire. Her gender context is socially acceptable and consistent with another major concept of politeness. Brooke refuses to directly insult him by implying that she wants help with the dishes. Brooke's statement about the dishes is also in union with another major context, the cultural context, which consists of principles based on communicating properly. The essence of her verbal message consists of these principles: the principle of cooperation, the principle of peaceful relations, the principle of face saving. Brooke's indirectness allowed Gary to be independent and to make an effort to understand or to cooperate. She also maintained a peaceful verbal message to preserve the image of the other person. On the other hand, Gary's reply, "Cool," has numerous communication layers. He doesn't comply with the principle of meanings are in people, not in things. He was also indirect in the way he communicated his confirmation. He concealed his message through dismissing Brooke as a person as well as her desire. Gary didn't think she was worth the attention or her desire lacked reason. Gary's failure to recognize Brooke beyond the words she used separated him from the philosophical truth of meanings are in people. Although Gary indirectly defaced Brooke verbally in a change in reality, Gary also attacked the changeless essence of her. The end of this scene displays the last relevant principle of connotative language. Brooke is communicating in a different context, using different verbal strategies. Brooke broke up with Gary while trying to seek justice for herself. Brooke concludes her existing relationship by verbalizing, "I'm not spending one more second in this life with an inconsiderate prick. You're a prick." The word prick is considered a snarl word, just because the connotative meaning behind it is emotional. Brooke isn't describing Gary, but revealing her feeling about him.